Morning, good afternoon, and good night to our teacher, Miss Bashira and Dr. Rodney. So this will be our video of our leadership presentation, and we're going to do it in a very casual way. That's why we wear like this, right? So now we start with a simple self-introduction. My name is Marcus, and I feel really grateful that I'm high in 3 dimensions, which is human resources, political, and symbolic, but I'm low in structure. About the details, the implication on how it works for these results, we will explain further on in the next part 1. Thank you.
Hello teachers, I'm Chong Eng Sim and I'm high in 2 dimensions, which is structural and political. However, I'm low in symbolic.
Hi teacher, I'm Tan Zile. I'm high in structural and low in political.
Hi Miss, I'm Lam Joey and I'm high in structural and low in human resource.
Hi Miss and hi sir, I'm Lim Chen Yan and I'm high in human resource and low in structural frame.
And this is Coffee, our new member.
Now, I'll talk about the 4-frame leadership. This assessment will reflect on how we think in terms of this 4-frame, which is structural, HR, political, and symbolic. Just for information, orange represent me, blue is Marcus, pink is Zile, yellow is Joey, and Chen Yuan is green. So for the following charts will be designed according to the same colors as this. Firstly, in structural frame, me, Zile, and Joey falls into the top 25%. This means that we are emphasized in analysis and data and always believe that a clear structure will always help us in getting job done better. Next, in human resource frame, Marcus and Chen Yuan score for the top 25%. This means that they tend to pay attention on the importance of people. For example, like when it comes to decision making, they tend to first take care on the other's feeling and they will always put themselves on others' shoes. Next, 3 of us score high in political frame while others 2 are scored a bit lower. This means that we tend to negotiate on the wrongful stuff and will solve the conflicts between the groups so that everything can be done smoothly. Lastly, in symbolic frame, all of them actually score high or middle, and except for me. This shows that they tend to inspire the others and always visualize the task into symbols or pictures so that it will be more creative and fun of doing it.
So I'm going to talk about the servant leadership part. So for the first part, which is voluntary subordination. Okay, as what you can see, Marcus, Eng Sim, and I score higher than Zile and Joey. So it means we tend to be selfless and we are willing to help others without desiring for return. So for the next part, which is authentic self, as what you can see, Joey is scored below the average, and Marcus and Eng Sim score above the average, which is higher than 3 of us. So it indicates that Marcus and Eng Sim are very confident with their decision, even though others is questioning about it. Furthermore, for the covenantal relationship part, so Eng Sim scores the highest in this section. So it means that she respects others despite of people's opinion part, which is responsible morality. So in this part, Marcus and I are higher than 3 of them. So it means that we are good in spreading moral values to our team members and setting a good example for others. So for example, like being polite and being punctual in our life. Okay, next part, which is transcendental spirituality. So as what you can see, Marcus and I are higher than 3 of them, and Joey is below the average. So it means Marcus and I are good in motivating others whenever our team members are facing some difficulties or when we are demotivated. The last part, which is transforming influence. Marcus and Eng Sim are higher than 3 of us. So it indicates that they are willing to help others in their personal goals or as well as their personal development.
Now, I'm going to talk about the big 5 personality.
Overall, Marcus is high in all 5 personalities, as you can see from the graph. In our group, every group members are considered as extroversion, while me is an introvert. This means that majority of us are outgoing and energetic. For agreeableness, all group members are high and above average. This brings us to be more helpful and kind to each other and work in a peaceful situation. Next, everyone is high in conscientiousness except Joey. In most situations, we do tasks in a well-organized way and we tend to help Joey to plan an orderly task. We all are considered as high neuroticism, while only Chen Yuan has a low neuroticism. Since Chen Yuan are low neuroticism,
She able to stay calm and lead us to handle tense situation. Lastly, all of us score high in openness, so we are more open-minded and willing to try new things to improve our team performance.
So I'll be discussing on Machiavellianism. So for our group on amorality, it is below average. This is the average line. We are below average. This means that we will not abandon our moral values in order to achieve our goals. For the next one, which is desire for control, 3 of us which is above average and 2 which is slightly lower, which means that our team has members where desire for more control over some objectives. For next one, which is desire for status, we are mostly above average, where there is one member which is slightly below average, which I do not think it is true. Okay, so lastly, for this one, which is distrust of others, Marcus and Engsim scores lowest for this, whereas me and Zilla and I score highest for this part, where Chen Yuan is average on this. So for a clearer picture on both of these examples, which is desire for control, people would tend to be more dominant and impulsive, so they would not waver on their decisions. Whereas for desire for status, if you let them have 2 choices, which is desire, internal goals and external goals, which is internal goals, which is self-development, and external goals, wealth and status, they would pick external goals to show that they are better than others. So now we'll be talking about the challenges we face as a team. So for example, a person who has higher traits in 4-frame leadership. So for example, Marcus, who has 3 higher frames such as political, human resource and symbolic. However, he has a higher trait in neuroticism, which makes him nervous.
One of the challenges that our team might face is that when 2 leaders are both strong in one particular part, it might cause some conflict over opinions between 2 of the leaders. And also for the members, they might be difficult to choose for which leaders they should listen to. So for example, in our team, both Marcus and Engsim score high in the desire for control part in Machiavellian leadership. As a result, it leads to conflict and inefficiency when we are doing our work as a team.
As a leader, I found out our group have a problem which is indecisive and inefficient. So this might cause some problem for us, which sometimes we will delay our schedule and might miss our deadline. I hope we can cope with this issue. So here are the solutions to address our potential challenges that we mentioned just now. So as Joey mentioned, that my neuroticism is kind of high. It's because of my 3 frames is high. So we think that all of us need to be more supportive and help out each other with their strengths. So this able to balance between our weaknesses and our strengths, which I mentioned just now. My weakness is neuroticism, which I kind of mentioned right now. And for the changes mentioned by Chen Yuan, we think that we need to have a better communication within our group members. With a better communication, the whole group able to understand better the whole concept, and we knows what direction the whole group is heading to. Also to avoid conflicts between leaders. The last one that I mentioned just now is basically means we need to do more preparation work. For example, the preparation work we can do is we need to conduct more meetings. We need to prepare a timeline and timetable. So this helps us to be more organized. Then we will not miss our deadline and we can be more efficient.
Now I am going to identify the potential opportunities. The potential opportunity that we might face is similarity of leadership type. From our findings, it is clear that 4 of us are servant leader, while only Joey is a Machiavellian leader. As majority has high servant leadership, this brings us to tolerate more and reduce the chances of argument.
So the second opportunity is that we have all 4 different frames of leaders in our group. With this, each of us will have our own specialty, so that this is able to help or cover each other's weaknesses. So for example, Marcus is very low in structural frame, while he might need Zilla, who is very high in structural, to help him in more details work so that he can done his job better.
Okay, for the last part, to improve our team performance, first of all, we must avoid the problem of conflict between team members. So as a leader, the leader must ask each member to voice out whenever there is a conflict, without any interruption or debate. As a member, we should solve the problem and come up with a solution as a team, instead of debating or quarrels with each other.
In my opinion, we should identify the cause before settle any argument. We should also have one middleman who able to control and settle down the tense situation when nobody wants to tolerate.
Also, the middleman, which is me, can give some suggestion to settle down.
In order to improve our team performance, we should all be prepared to do what we are supposed to do in the future and also do our best in our own parts.
Also, everyone in the team, including leader and members, must all be patient in performing tasks and always listen to each other so that everyone may be treated equally and respect each other and thus creating a stronger bond for the team.
My suggestion to improve the team is kind of simple. It's just that everyone need to stay together. The team spirit must be strong. Also, as Helen Callan said, alone we do so little, but together we can do so much.
Thanks for watching.